Alien Romulus in the year 2000. Earth had long since looked to the stars for salvation, and sometimes for answers best left undiscovered. Romulus Station was one of the earliest deep space research outposts, orbiting a barren moon in the Epsilon Eridani system. After losing contact 17 years ago, it became a ghost, a sealed tomb drifting in the silence of space. That is, until the signal came back, a weak, pulsating transmission repeating only one word in corrupted Latin text. It sees. Commander Yusuf al-Harithi, a Saudi exobiologist and former Quranic student, was chosen to lead the recovery mission. He believed in the harmony of science and faith. The unknown did not frighten him, at least, not until now. The shuttle Al-Salam docked with Romulus in the shadow of its massive solar array, which now hung like a skeleton's ribcage. The airlock opened with a hiss, but no alarm sounded. No lights flickered on, no greeting, just the cold breath of silence. As he stepped inside, his boots echoed through hollow steel corridors. The walls were damped. There was no smell, no rot, no decay, just stillness. Unnatural stillness. Yusuf whispered. He moved toward the command bridge, flashlight sweeping across abandoned equipment. Everything was intact, untouched. And then he found it, a rusted terminal blinking faintly with power. The login screen shimmered, barely readable, but one file had been left open. Incident Report 72 ARA. We discovered the object 2 weeks ago in subsurface crater IX organic, pulsating. We brought it on. We thought it was a dormant life form, perhaps fossilized. It wasn't. It speaks. Not with sound, but in dreams. It looks like us. It becomes us. We can't stop it. The logs ended abruptly, then static. And then a flicker. The screen displayed a surveillance feed. A dim corridor. At the far end, a humanoid shape stood perfectly still, head bowed. As the feed zoomed, the face lifted. It was Yusuf, but he was still watching from the terminal. The image vanished. He stumbled back. Whispers followed, soft, feminine, like an ancient lullaby in a language that twisted Arabic and something not of Earth. He pulled out his Quran and held it close, flipping instinctively to Surah Al-Jinn. As he recited, the whispers receded, like waves being pulled back before a storm. He pressed on. In the cryolab, he found the crew mummified in their pods. Their eyes had been removed, not gouged. Gong empty sockets perfectly sealed by skin, as if they were never born with eyes at all. Yet each face was twisted in frozen terror. A soft knock echoed behind him. He turned. Nothing. He turned back. One of the bodies had moved. It was now sitting upright in the pod, smiling. Its mouth opened and closed in silence. Then a voice appeared directly inside Yusuf's mind. Eyes are windows. You opened yours. He ran through tight corridors and decontamination bays. Yusuf shouted the Adhan aloud, as if to reassert dominion. But the station sang back, in echoes, mocking him with his own words. He entered the observation deck, where the crew had once studied distant planets. Now the windows were sealed with opaque frost, scratched with markings, symbols, Arabic letters, but backwards, twisted. He recognized a phrase. It opens eyes and devours hearts. He tried to leave. He tried to seal the data drive and escape, but Romulus wouldn't let him. The lights shut off. Only the emergency red glows remained. And in their light, dozens of figures began to emerge. Silent, unmoving. They had his face, his clothing, but their eyes hollow, black, infinite. They spoke as one. Laila Ija Anta. But Usazi clutched the Quran tighter. His voice trembled as he recited Ayat al-Kursi. The figures screamed, not with sound, but with thoughts, twisted and violent. The lights burst, and Romulus shook. Then, silence. Yusuf woke up inside the shuttle, strapped in, launched. He didn't remember launching. The data drive was on his lap, his Quran still clutched in his palm, glowing faintly with warmth. Earth Command hailed him. Commander Yusuf, welcome back. We lost you for a full day. What happened out there? He didn't answer. He just stared into the shuttle's mirror. His reflection was smiling, but he wasn't. And in the reflection's eyes, the void still pulsed. The thing from Romulus never needed this station. It needed a vessel. It needed him, Ian.